there is something magical about having people in a shared space celebrating a shared thing, and you can have an almost spiritual experience at really any event.
One of the most memorable live event experiences of recent memory was the Front Row Foundation event that I attended in 2016. Shout out to John Vroman and John Berghoff, who came together to choreograph and facilitate that entire experience.
The first live event experience that I remember is from a time when I was in college. The event was called Boots and Ballers. What really stood out to me about this event was just the attention to detail. When you walked in, the AV was amazing, the decorations were on theme, even what people were wearing, you walked in and were truly transported to a completely different place.
So the first live event experience that I remember is a Britney Spears concert. And the reason why it was so memorable for me is because I knew every single song on the album. And what I remember most is her outfits.
So the first live event experiences I remember all happened at my church. We went to church a lot when I was a kid. And I remember being really struck by how moving the experience could be when you had, music being played on stage and people in, having in communion, having a shared sense of community in the space. And there's something really magical and cool about those moments.
One of the live event experiences I remember the most was a concert I went to a few years ago for the band Ghost. The performers were all at different levels building up to the center of the stage. And then the backdrop was this huge, almost mural type thing that was created to look like a massive cathedral. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
When I was it had to be 9 or 10 years old, my grandparents got me and my brothers tickets to go see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live show. That was the first time that I kind of got the experience of an entire crowd kind of being there together.
So my first live event experience is from when I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and it was seeing the Cheetah Girls live in concert. It was such a new experience, so being in a situation that I'd never been in before, seeing live music, just doing something for me that was really novel and unique.
I went to a Reba McEntire and the band Perry opened for her. It was just super inspiring, and my creative brain just clicked right then and there.
My most memorable live event experience was an outdoor concert from my favorite band, Dawson Hollow. One thing that I specifically remember about the event was the quality of the sound, even though I was sitting on a bridge overlooking the river.
My first event as a Utopia person, I remember vividly, was our very first event, the Shannis Party. We had never done an event, and the Shannis family just trusted us. And that's really how we've built our business over the last few years, is not only on performance, but trust that we're going to give people a great experience.